Aloha and welcome to Hawaii Preppers Network 808. As of August the 24th, Thursday, last week, Japan has released Fukushima's radioactive treated water into the Pacific Ocean. Now, Japan began pumping more than 1 million metric tons of treated radioactive water from the destroyed Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant on Thursday, a process that will take decades to complete. The water was distilled after being contaminated from contact with the fuel rods at the reactor destroyed in 2011 earthquake and tsunami. Tanks on the site hold about 1.3 million tons of the water, enough to fill 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Now, what is Japan's water release plan? The utility responsible for the plant, Tokyo Electric Power, TEPCO, has been filtering the contaminated water to remove isotopes, leaving only tritium, a radioactive isotope of hydrogen that is hard to separate. TEPCO will dilute the water until tritium levels fall below regulatory limits before pumping it into the sea from the site on the coast north of Tokyo. Water containing tritium is routinely released from nuclear plants around the world, and regulatory authorities support dealing with the Fukushima water in this way. Tritium is considered to be relatively harmless because its radiation is not energetic enough to penetrate human skin. When ingested at levels above those in the released water, it can raise cancer risk, a Scientific American article said in 2014. Water disposal will take decades to complete alongside the planned decommissioning of the plant. Is the water safe? Japan and scientific organizations say the water is safe, but environmental activists argue that all possible impacts have not been studied. Japan says it needs to start releasing the water as storage tanks are full. The International Atomic Energy IAEA, the UN near watchdog, gave the plant a green light in July, saying it met international standards and the impact on people and the environment would be negligible. Greenpeace said on Tuesday that the radiological risk have not been fully assessed and the biological impacts of tritium, carbon-14, strontium-90, and iodine-129 to be released with the water have been ignored. The filtering process will remove strontium-90 and iodine-129, and the concentration of carbon-14 in the contaminated water is far lower than its regulatory standard for discharge, according to TEPCO and the government. Japan said tritium levels in the water will be below those considered safe for drinking under World Health Organization standards. The government said in a document it would take appropriate measures, including immediate suspension of the discharge if unusually high concentrations of radioactive materials were detected. The South Korean government has concluded from its own study that the water release meets international standards and said it respected the IAEA assessment. Now, how have people reacted? TEPCO has been engaging with fishing communities with other concerned groups and is promoting agriculture, fishery, and forest products to reduce any reputational harm to produce from the area. Fishing unions in Fukushima have urged the government for years not to release the water, arguing it would undo work to restore the damaged reputation of their fisheries. Masanobu Sakamoto, the head of the National Federation of Fisheries Cooperative Association, said on Monday the group understood the release could be scientifically safe but still feared reputational damage. Neighboring countries have also expressed concern. China has been the most vocal, calling Japan's plan irresponsible, unpopular, and unilateral. China is the biggest importer of Japanese seafood. Shortly after the 2011 tsunami and earthquake damaged the Fukushima plant, China banned imports of food and agricultural products from 5 Japanese prefectures. China later widened its ban to 10 of Japan's 47 prefectures. The latest import restrictions were imposed in July after the IAEA approved Japan's plans to discharge the treated water. Now, I know I made a video on this, I would say probably a couple weeks ago, perhaps the ending part of July or beginning of August. But yeah, they did release the radioactive treated water. It's going to be very sketchy with a lot of things going on in the world. Guys, you really want to be on top of everything. Every country is experiencing all sorts of crises and calamities, and you just don't know what's going to pop up. You need to, get your preps in order. Perhaps go get more different types of seafood. The release already took place. So, I don't know if you have all your preps, and if a lot of your preps do include different types of seafoods, seaweeds, anything from the ocean and the sea. I'm not sure if that's too late already. I wouldn't trust anything that these governments are saying that's safe, because when it comes to radioactive, anything nuclear and radioactive, even though they say and insist that it's safe and the water is treated, we don't know how safe it actually is and how much treated they've done to the water. But we all know what happened in 2011 when Fukushima, the earthquake, and then the tsunami, and then that nuclear reactor in Fukushima. It was just terrible what happened, and this is not good in my humble opinion. This is just terrible on top of everything else that is going on in the world. So get your preps in order, guys, and do whatever you need to do. And if you need to pick up any more things that you consume from the ocean, I'm not even sure how far that radioactive treated water is by now. I'm just assuming it's already spread all over and past my state, because we'd be probably one of the first to get hit. So just get your preps in order, guys. I just had to put this out here. I did speak about this before, but keep your heads up, heads on a swivel. Always, update yourself and keep yourself in the know when it comes to all different types of crises, economy, and everything globally. Not just in your own country, not just in your own state, but globally, because everything globally will affect everyone. Have a great night, guys. Aloha.